question and answer? No. Exactly.
Assalamu alaikum again and Ramadan Mubarak. Takbir! 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 And Allah says, وَلَيْسَ ذَكَرَ كَالْأُنْثَى. And the male is not like the female. And when you have the truth coming from both expressions of human nature, you have balance. Imam Muhammad once said, one day there'll be a woman who contributes so much to the thought of Islam, a school of thought will be named after her. That's the kind of contributions. And after hearing Sister Anisa Dewan, I believe it will be one of the students of Imam Warithuddin Muhammad who makes that contribution and has a school of thought named after her. I know that Elijah and Hanif just came in. I'm sorry, Hanif. I stepped up because you were out on security. And I know Elijah's on security right now too. So, but the program must go on, inshallah. And just like there were men around those of you at the Kaaba while you were enjoying your dua, your children are outside securing us right now. The children that came from your loins. They're doing the same thing you did when you were 20 and you were 25, making sure that the interests of the community is protected. We have two brothers who just took their shahada this week. We'd like you to stand up, please. Yeah, we have two who just took their shahada this week. Takbir! 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 So take care of them. Make sure they have their needs met. We want to make sure that they feel welcome and at home here. And congratulations to both of you for joining this Muslim family. And I think it was the plan of Allah for you to both take your shahada at the same week that the M.A.L.I conference was in Houston, Texas. Y'all can sit down. Thank you so much. As we bring our leader, among many of our leaders in America, Imam Salim Mutmin, to close the program of this wonderful M.A.L.I conference. Takbir! Takbir! Takbir!
I wasn't a fan of Janet Jackson, so I don't know how to put this on. Somebody coming down. Go this way. This way. Put it on the back. Oh, like this. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihi wa ala ahlihi wa ala sahbihi wa ala al-muslimin wal mu'minin ajma'in. Amma ba'da. I would like to first thank Imam Wazir Ali for accepting us here, the Muslim American Logic Institute, to host our conference here this year. And when I talked with him, and I wanted to come here, and a lot of people they ask, you know, won't you bring M.A.L.I here, won't you bring M.A.L.I there, but I wanted to come here for a reason. And I put on the schedule, I want to say something today that's important. And this is the place that I want to say it. I'm not the leader over anybody. I'm not over anybody. And the M.A.L.I students, they're not my students. We're friends. That was the deal. He's standing for M.A.L.I. It's not a teacher-student relationship. We're friends. And as long as we're friends, we act like friends. You call me, I can call you back. I can say I'm busy. I may not call you back, you know. But we're friends. I see all y'all got friends, right? We laugh together in the classes. We cry together. We're friends. Because otherwise, if it was a teacher-student relationship and you had to pay me, you couldn't afford me. Right? You couldn't afford me. Because Allah says in the Quran, do not sell my signs for a small price. So any price would be too small. So you can't afford me. Alhamdulillah. So we're friends. And when I was late Friday, because Allah caused me to be late. I was lost, but I was down the street. I've been to a place I've been lost before, but I was right down the street. So we had the opportunity to see the young imam give the khutbah, the M.A.L.I. students. But when I came in the door, I know I hesitated because I saw all the faces of M.A.L.I. students, so many M.A.L.I. students. I saw my friends. And you feel good when you walk in a room, you know. The only difference, you all didn't say, surprise! But my friends were here, and I felt good. And it was good that you saw the young brother giving the khutbah, because that's our purpose for being here. That's the purpose I wanted to come here, because there are young people here. But first, let me thank Imam Wazir Ali and the other presenters that also came. Imam Qasim Ahmed, my good friend. Imam Qasim Ahmed, we know we gave you a plaque. And we know you probably in your life have received a lot of plaques. But we hope you put this plaque somewhere. Bury it under the floors or somewhere. So one day, your son, we saw his son reciting. I remember his son when Imam Qasim kept me up all night. He kept me up all night, and he had a son. His son was a little baby. Now that's how I remember his son. The way he remember my son is he's making the presentation, and my son breaks his blackboard. So, alhamdulillah. So that's my friend. We're friends. All of this is important for what I have to say today. This is very important for what I have to say. Imam Fahim Shuaib, he's another friend. When I was in Ghana, I want to say a little bit about Ghana. When I was in Ghana, there's a sheikh in Detroit. He's from Ghana, and we're good friends. So we're there. So he told me, he said, when you get to Ghana, call me. So when I got to Ghana, I called him, and I'm at Chief Muhammad's house. So he says, let me speak to Chief Muhammad. So they're talking, and they knew each other. Well, they're from the next village over. So Chief Muhammad knew him, he knew his mother, and they, when he was in the United States, he helped him out. So he hung the phone up. He said, I know him, I know his mother. His mother and the Chief Imam. The Chief Imam, they grew up together. The Chief Imam of Ghana is the highest ranking religious official in Ghana. He's over all the Muslims. Sunni, Shiite, Nation of Islam, they're in Ghana too. He's over all of them. When we visited his house, he had a picture of him and George Bush on his wall. And I could tell they were in his house because I'm in his house now. Right? When we come out, he lives in the village with the common people. That's where he lives, in the village. So when we come out, I'm an American. I'm saying to Chief Muhammad, George Bush came down here. That says something about George Bush. He says, listen, Chief Imam is the most powerful man in Ghana. If George Bush or anybody else want to see him, he have to do what we just did. Who does that sound like? So anyways, we want the chief imam to do the wedding. My son was having a wedding there, and he wants the chief imam to do the wedding. So we're sitting there, you know, chief imam, he's an older man. So he's just sitting and he's listening, and they're speaking in their language. And he's saying things to him because he wants him to come and do the wedding. And it's just as hard to get him to come and do the wedding as it would have been our chief imam to come and do a wedding. And you have to be very humble, and you have to be very respectful, and because you want him to do something, right? So he's sitting there and he's going, yes, yes, yes. So he mentioned Sheikh Ali's mother's name. He perked up. He told him that Salim is Sheikh Ali's best friend in America. And he says, I'll be there. Alhamdulillah. But Sheikh Ali told the Chief Muhammad, that I was his best friend in America. So the Chief Imam came. That was big. So now, what does it have to do with Imam Fahim Shuaib? Some brothers in Detroit, they wanted to invite Imam Shuaib to Detroit, to an event. So they called me. They say, you know, you have a good relationship with Imam Fahim. Why don't you call him and invite him to the event? I said, I got a better idea. Call Imam Fahim Shuaib and tell him that I said he is my best friend in America. And he will come. Yes, alhamdulillah. And he came. So if you ever want something from me, just be my friend. Alhamdulillah. We have Imam Yahya Abdullah. These brothers have come to every M.A.L.I conference. Maybe they missed one because they're busy. We know they're busy. But they have supported M.A.L.I from the beginning. I'm not a good politician. And I'm not a friend. I can't make friends, you know. It takes time for me. So I'm not a good political type person. Can shake hands, kiss babies, be a friend in 5 minutes. It might take 5 years. You know what I mean? But they come without hesitation. I don't have to convince them. They know that. I call some of them, they're waiting for the call. And I just call. I can't find the words to convince them, but I just ask them, can you come to the M.A.L.I conference? First year, they say, yeah. I'm saying, wow. You have to understand, these are brothers I respect, that I hold in high esteem. So I said, wow. So I said, well, let me try another one. Now we don't talk, you know, Imam Qasim, you know, maybe once a year, you know, a couple of times, but all this is important for what I have to say today. So stay with it. So I called the next brother. He said, sure. And I say to them, you know, we don't have a lot of money. I'll be there. So I go to the next one and the next one. And they all agree to come. They've been coming every year. And every year I think, well, they've been coming every year. They may say, well, I've been coming every year and I'm not coming no more. They come every year. And these are our best. These are our best. In this age group. It's important for me to say that. Because it's important. Y'all got to keep the connections now. It was a young imam did the khutbah. These are best of the older brothers. Yes. Now you understand. So Imam Yahya. And I get a tape from him. I get one tape a year because I end up giving his khutbah becomes my khutbah. So I only can get one tape a year. Nasser Ahmed, Imam Nasser Ahmed, these are all imams. You all know Imam Jihad Safa, he's a young brother, and he's good. He is, when it comes to Quranic Arabic, he's good.